They don't tell you how helpless you feel during a lockdown until it happens while you're the only adult in the hallway. I'm Alex Torres, 2 years into a part-time campus security job at North Pine High. Not exactly police. More like the guy who tells kids to get to class and checks if fire extinguishers are expired. That Tuesday afternoon was quiet. Seniors were off campus for a career fair. Half the staff was in meetings. The school felt empty. I was making rounds on the second floor when I got the call.
Was it a lockdown alert?
Yeah. My radio crackled. This is not a drill. Code black. Secure immediately. Code black. That's the real one. I looked around. 4 empty classrooms, a bathroom, and the supply room labeled 6A. Every other door had those magnetic key locks. Not 6A. It was used for storage now. Leftover science lab tables, broken chairs. No one ever went in there. Except me. I ran in, yanked the door shut. No lock, just a pull handle. I backed up, scanning the dark room. Rows of desks, dusty floor, a broken lab sink in the corner. It was silent. I turned off my radio and phone light and crouched behind an overturned table.
You were completely alone.
Yeah, and something about that room yet amplified the sound. Every breath I took echoed. I waited. Then I heard it. Footsteps in the hall. Soft, deliberate. I held my breath. They stopped in front of 6A. The door creaked open. Just a crack. Whoever it was didn't come in. Then, slowly the door closed again. I exhaled. Too soon, because then came the sound of tape. The squeak of duct tape being stretched and slapped against the door. He was sealing me in.
Oh no.
I didn't dare move. I didn't know if he saw me, or if he thought the room was empty. But I knew one thing, whoever that was wasn't a student. He was too tall. The footsteps were heavy, confident. I waited. 10 more minutes. Silence. So I crept toward the door, peeled a strip of tape free just enough to crack it open. I peered out. The hallway was empty, but one thing was off. Room 6B. Across the hall. Its door was wide open.
Wasn't that room supposed to be locked?
Exactly. That door always auto-locks. Teachers have to badge in. I stepped into the hallway slowly, heart pounding. No alarms, no noise. Just the hum of the vending machines at the end. I inched toward 6B, peered inside. Dark. Then my radio popped back on loud. Too loud. I hadn't even touched it. Suspect seen near science wing. Armed. Repeat, armed. Before I could move, someone spoke from behind me. You're not supposed to be out here. A man.
Who was it?
Late 30s. Wearing a janitor's uniform, but I knew every janitor on staff. And he wasn't one of them. He stepped out of the shadows of 6B holding something in his right hand. I couldn't see what. I raised my hands. I'm security. I can take you somewhere safe. He smiled, tilted his head. Can you? Then he started walking toward me. I ran.
Back to the supply room.
No time. I ran toward the stairwell, but as I turned the corner, a fire door at the end of the hall slammed shut. He'd locked it. Or jammed it. I doubled back. He was walking, but not chasing. Like he knew I had nowhere to go. I ducked into a janitor's closet and shut the door. Inside was pitch black. I could hear him outside, tapping on the walls as he passed. Then he stopped, right in front of the closet. I know where you are, he said softly. You left the radio on.
That's terrifying.
I reached for the utility shelf, found a wrench. Heavy. Then I killed my radio. I waited. No footsteps. Had he left? I cracked the door open a few inches. Empty hallway. I stepped out. Quiet, slow. But as soon as I turned toward the stairwell, he was there, not 10 feet away. Smiling, he raised what he was holding. Not a gun. A homemade taser. Wires. Tape. A battery pack.
He'd built a weapon.
Yeah. Not to kill. To disable. To take someone. I ran again, ducked into room 6A, the supply room. This time I kicked the door hard, jammed a chair under the handle, and waited. He's on the second floor, wearing a janitor outfit, not staff. 5 minutes passed. Then sirens, glass breaking downstairs, shouts, radios. They got him.
Did he say why he was there?
No, he wouldn't talk. But in room 6B, they found a backpack filled with restraints. Tape, zip ties. A burner phone with no contacts. Nothing identifying. He wasn't a parent. Not staff. No connection. Just a man who knew the school's layout. I still work there, but after this incident, the school introduced new emergency prep drills for the kids, like what to do when there is an intruder. It was the 7th period on a Tuesday. I was subbing for a math teacher, covering a quiet group of 10th graders working independently on a packet of problems. The regular teacher had left instructions to let the students work quietly while she attended a meeting. The kind of class where no one talks, no one moves. Just the sound of pencil tips scratching paper, occasional coughs, and the faint buzz of the overhead lights. One of the kids asked to use the bathroom. I said yes. Standard procedure. He left. The rest stayed buried in their packets. Then the intercom clicked on.
This is a lockdown. This is not a drill. Lock all doors. Lights off. Everyone hides.
No tone. No explanation. Just those clipped, urgent words. I stood up so fast I knocked the chair over. Everyone, back corner. Now. I locked the door, turned off the lights, pulled the blinds, and herded the students behind the row of file cabinets near the coat hooks. And that's when I realized the kid who went to the bathroom never came back.
Oh no, that's already bad.
We all crouched down. No talking, just breath and fear. One of the students whispered, "Did anyone hear that?" I paused, listened, and then 3 heavy bangs. Not gunfire, just violent pounding. On metal lockers, close. Then footsteps. Erratic, like someone limping, or dragging something. Then a man's voice. Not yelling, not asking for help. Just repeating, "Where's room 109? Where's room 109? That was my room."
You're kidding.
He was right outside. The doorknob down the hallway started rattling, one after the other. Then ours. Rattle, pause, rattle, then 3 knocks. Calm, patient, like he was delivering a package. Then he whispered, "I can see you." One of the girls made a noise, a whimper she tried to swallow. I motioned for silence. I stood just enough to glimpse through the narrow vertical window on the door, and there he was. Dirty hoodie, buzz cut, pale face, no visible weapon, just something tucked in the waistband of his jeans. His forehead pressed to the glass. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Eyes wide, unblinking, he mouthed, "Knock, knock." He didn't try to break the glass, just stared for a full minute. Then he walked away. I stayed crouched, frozen. But then something moved inside the classroom. At first I thought a kid had shifted position. But no. There was someone standing near the back cabinet. A tall student. Hoodie up, hands in pockets. I hadn't seen him before. I took attendance at the start. I know he wasn't there. Everyone else was crouched behind the file cabinets, staring, silent. The kid didn't move, didn't speak. I whispered, "What's your name?" No answer. Just blank eyes, like he was watching something play out in his head. Then he smiled, but not at me. At the door, I stood slowly. "I need you to sit down," I said. He didn't. Just twitched, his fingers tapping against his thigh like he was timing something. Then from outside, the doorframe shook. I stepped forward. The kid stepped back. Another bang, louder. The sound of something hitting metal. Hard. Then the fire alarm went off. Strobing lights, deafening siren. Someone must have pulled it. Maybe staff trying to distract the intruder. The hooded kid flinched. And in that split second, he ran. Not toward the door, but into the supply closet. He slammed the door behind him, locked it from the inside. I shouted, "Move!" and yanked the classroom door open. The hallway was chaos. Alarms, flashing lights, Kids pouring out of classrooms. Teachers shouting. I led my students out the back exit, straight into a line of police with rifles drawn. They stormed in, but inside my classroom. They said the closet was empty. We never found out who he was and how he got in. No ID. He was not in the attendance system. The kid who went to the bathroom. He was found locked in a janitor's closet 2 floors down. Unharmed. Confused. The other kid I saw in the classroom. Staff and even the students said that they did not recognize that kid. Whatever happened that day was unexplainable. But yes, there were some rumors about someone who had a master key. But the worst part, later, they checked the staff key inventory. One was missing. Still is.